So my 2022 Score 4060 wasn't intended to be something I was gonna keep. I only bought it for this super expensive inverted carbon fiber fork, but unfortunately, I've been riding it and super enjoying it. So we got all the cheapest, best parts I could find on the entire internet for the last 6 months, so let's do the dream build. As the Score sits, it's absolutely dialed with an EXT E-Storia, Fox 38 Grip X damper, Magura MT5 brakes, a decent set of aluminum wheels. So basically this is more of like a remodel, but I learned some pretty valuable lessons and made some pretty stupid mistakes. So let's establish a little bit of baseline on why I decided to keep the Score, because it's such an incredible bike, even though it's discontinued. So I'm testing the bike park setup. No prescriptions, full face. Feels like I'm on a freaking motorcycle helmet. So basically establishing some baselines with Fox 38 aluminum wheels. EXT, that's probably the most important upgrade, and the bike already has it. So basically same run, we got green, blue, and black. In between my 5 businesses, I like to throw in my bicycle in the car and ride wherever I'm doing business. So we're at Post Canyon today and warming up on the green trail here. So one thing I absolutely love about this Score, even though it's a 170 29er enduro bike, it's really fun even on the most mellow trails. Super drivey feeling carbon stiff frame. I'm thoroughly impressed. Okay, we're gonna try the prescriptions now because those goggles absolutely suck. To the untrained eye or someone who's not super sensitive and didn't work on cars for 20 years, the Score feels almost identical in feel to the Santa Cruz as far as the suspension platform. Super poppy, you can like push off of it, and it's an excellent jumper. So I'm spending a lot of time on the jumps because I suck at jumping and I'm trying to get better. The Score with the EXT shock is definitely helping me out. Now the Score 4060 is completely dialed as it sits, and this is precisely how I want it equipped. The right tires, the brakes are a little bit disappointing with the Magura MT5s, but I've been riding in this bike on and off for a couple weeks and I'm like truly impressed with it. Fox 38 Grip X dampers, we have lockout front, lockout rear, extremely efficient pedaling platform, long travel. There's not much more to ask for. But we got a massive table of parts here. We're gonna do a bunch of weight comparisons, like upgrading the wheels. How much weight am I gonna save? How much weight savings does a GX cassette have versus a NX cassette that's on there? So basically in the last video with the Score e-bike, it wasn't the magic ride. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe being a weight weenie is the way to go to get the magic feel. So it's an experimental dream bike, so let's get started. But being a suspension connoisseur, we can't just leave a Fox fork on there, it's too boring. So here's our choices. We got DVO WP38. Woo! I bought this fork specifically for the dream build because it's unique, limited edition, and for sure discontinued. So I did speak with DVO about this fork, and WP Gas is completely pulling out of the mountain bike market, probably for good reason because there's not a lot of money doing this. Then we have my EXT E-Storia, or EXT Era, and I broke the damper, but EXT sold me the parts, so we're gonna do a little weight comparison of all 3 forks once I pull the Fox 38 out, because this is a weight weenie build. Before taking any parts off of this, we gotta see how much it weighs. 36.4 pounds, and I'll pop the kilograms on the screen. So the goal is to make it sub 30 pounds. Now the survivability is gonna go down, obviously, but we're going for maximum performance on here. It's very possible I've already selected the correct fork for this bike, but it's just not weird enough. I need something eccentric or weird for the dream bike. This is like your everyday driver, daily driver. So let's see how much this Fox 38 Performance weighs. So the Fox 38 with the Grip X damper comes in at 4 pounds, 15 ounces, so it's sub 5 pounds Fox 38. Doesn't feel any heavier, but let's see. 5 pounds and 10 ounces. The WP DVO fork comes in at 5 pounds, 10 ounces. That is 10 ounces heavier. We'll put a bunch of conversions over there for metrics and gram guys. So this is the weight weenie build. And even though I bought this WP fork for this build, it's got to go back on the shelf because it's too heavy. So I may be wrong about weight, and I typically don't care about weight, but let's see how much the EXT Era weighs. Okay, so the EXT fork is in pieces, so I got to go find the damper. So EXT comes in at 4 pounds and 14 ounces. So it is a 36 millimeter stanchion fork. So it's only 1 ounces lighter. So technically the EXT and the Fox 38 are the same weight because I need to put 40 cc's of oil inside of here and repair the damper. So I've had some serious problems with the EXT Era. Over the years, multiple forks just cannot get it right. So I did contact EXT USA, and Bo was super helpful, and he's like, yeah, dude, we'll retune the damper. And I was like, no, I'm gonna jump in there and break something. So I pulled a couple shims off the damper. We're gonna do some repairs on it, the replacement parts. Crossed my fingers that I got the tune right, made the rebound a little bit faster. Okay, it's Saturday at 10 a.m. We're going to either Snoqualmie in Seattle or Bend. So I don't have time to dial in the EXT fork, and that fork is for sure a super high performance fork if you can get the tune right, but it does take a little bit of tinkering. So I'm tempted to put the Fox back on, but I think we're just gonna do the sacrifice and add 10 ounces of weight to the front of the score. So the DVO fork is at 8 1/4, so we're gonna go to 7 1/2. 7 1/2. First order of business is to remove this horrible crown race that by removing that much steer tube, we did lose 4 ounces on the build. This is just the reality of riding a German bike, something European. They like to make things unfriendly to work on, and then they justify it as, you just need the right tool, jawohl. We want those specialized split crown races that come off with my fingernail. I guess that's why they say measure twice, cut once, because I cut the steer tube too short. It's not the first time I've ever done that. I'm kind of in a rush because I want to get packed up. That was an expensive mistake. So there's one hope to using this fork with this bike, because there's only like a little nub of steer tube. And that is the DMR Problem Solver. And it's the moment of truth here. Dun, 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 dun. We got to put at least one spacer there. The guy had the bike perfectly dialed, and I'm just adding weight to it, even though this is supposed to be a weight weenie build. So I'm bolting the stem in, and guess what? This thing is not gonna work because I cut the steer tube too short. The dream build is turning into the nightmare build. I scratched the frame. I had to turn the camera off because I was so frustrated. Did get the fork mounted up. Ran into multiple more issues. So we got these super lightweight FSA gradient carbon wheels to upgrade off of the Raceface Arcs that I had on the bike. So let's see if there's a weight penalty or benefit for going carbon. So I think the carbon wheels are going to be really light because they are 24 spoke. I sent them to my wheel builder and he said they're very mid-level carbon wheels. So let's see what the weight penalty is. So my Raceface wheels, let me show you. With the rotor, starting on the front wheel, we have this wheel with the rotor coming in at 5 pounds and 2 ounces. So our carbon 24 spoke, no survivability trail wheels come in at 5.9. Okay, so by going carbon wheels, it's actually weighing more. So really the Exo Plus aluminum wheel is the lightest. So the existing wheel is 7 pounds and 5 ounces. Our upgraded carbon wheel and cassette, 6 pounds and 9 ounces. So finally, we lost some weight. So keep in mind, this is a 24 spoke wheel and the survivability factor of this carbon wheel is extraordinarily low, but it did shed about 12 ounces. I kind of want to just pull the cassette off because that might be an essential, not an essential, but a pretty worthy upgrade when it comes to the rear wheel, but we're gonna have to see how it rides with a lot less sprung mass on there. Even a simple brake pad change on the Maguras requires some specialty tools. This is one of the benefits of having European, German engineered stuff. It's very sophisticated and it may have more performance or less. I'm gonna go down in spring force from 525 to 475 because I basically keep losing weight, but while the shock's off, let's make sure she's in good condition. So we're gonna move the rebound, see where the rebound was. This is bad. Nope, it's got a squelch. Okay, so I've never done this before. Okay, so let's see what's in there. So it's a self-sealing 27, so it's low. I think it's 55, but we're gonna go to like 80. We'll just go to 90. There we go. We gave her a little tune-up. So I actually made a video on how to set a shock up, and it was based off of this setting, and it's called the Reverse Cowgirl, and we're gonna try it on this. Best experience I ever had with suspension was the EXT shock, locked off compression, super low spring over preloaded on the Specialized Enduro. I'll actually link that video here, maybe if I remember. But let's ready to go back on the bike with a whole bunch of Loctite because all these bolts were loose. Ooh, this is not a fun shock to change every day. So I've put about 1,000 shocks in different bikes, and this is for sure the hardest one. It's just like completely over-engineered German nonsense, and I 100% regret buying this bike. Okay, I'm just gonna try to take the wheel out. That's what it's supposed to sound like. Doesn't make that noise, there's something wrong with it. So I still have to dial in the rear rotor, which is a nightmare. Okay, so this has been one of the worst nightmare jobs I've ever done. just simply for the fact that all the parts are like basically cobbled together from toolboxes and different bikes. So here's the final weigh-in. 36 pounds even. 36 pounds. Run on this felt amazing. Oh my gosh. At this point, I'm questioning, was it worth my 6 or 7 hours of time? So heading through the test track, first 3-foot huck to flat, 6-foot huck to flat, that DVO WP fork is something special. Getting a lighter spring on the EXT E-Storia just made this shock come to life. I'm truly impressed by the damping performance out of the two suspensions, but when it comes to those carbon wheels, I don't even think I noticed during the test track. Woo! Woo! It is 6 in the morning. We're going to Snoqualmie, which is like basically Seattle. We'll see how this bike's gonna do. So last night, after the test ride, I put the aluminum wheels back on. We got 200mm gaffer, 223 Magura. Okay, 3 hours, arrive at 9 a.m. and the bike park is open from 9 to 5. It's definitely wintry, it's super dark, it's 6 in the morning. Aluminum wheels, Sunrace cassette.
All right, this RFA awesome. So if you come back up again, try to bring back that card, we can save you $5 and reload that card.
Thank you.
Have a great day, man.
Okay, we got the big wheels. Oh yeah. Oh boy. Oh, I've never rode something like this. Whoa. All right, we got Alex here and he showed me how to ride slabs, and pretty sick. Gnarliest trail I ever rode. Recognized me from the tube, and super sick.
I'm glad you liked it, man.
And he's got a V10, the right bike, even though this one's pretty good. I think so. Yeah, those are the enduro bars.
Mine, all my bikes are 760, so heads up.
So this isn't the normal Santa Cruz.
No, it's
This
not.
is soft.
Yeah, it's a specially designed. And then Fanatec also, they said they looked at it and he tweaked some stuff before he sent it to me.
I've never seen one up close.
It's very supple, isn't it? Like look, you barely have to engage it. It's very supple.
It doesn't have the Santa Cruz stiff pedal feeling.
No, this one. Well, this is a bike I build with love. Everything is chosen, installed by me.
Those rotors look badass.
Yeah, have you tried it? So sometime will you please do a review on this?
Oh yeah.
This is a game changer.
Towards the end of the day, my friend's GT Force, or no, it's a Fury, maybe another discontinued bike on the list of bike brands. We're gonna trade bikes. He's gonna ride the Score. And I've never actually rode a proper DH bike. I've only owned the Kenevo. It has base model RockShox Boxer, the X Fusion coil I've never rode. And Grant's gonna suffer through my...
It's RockShox, it's your enemy.
Honestly, no complaints on the bike at all.
Hater here.
RockShox hater.
It's great for kids. Yeah. That's awesome for kids. It's like...
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm buying a downhill bike. Dude, this is like a freaking play cart, like a play toy. It's like pops, bunny hops.
Oh yeah.
Well, what size is that? Is that a medium or a large?
It's a large.
Okay. It doesn't look huge.
No. As far as I know. No, I thought it handled good. I think it was balanced good. It rips, dude. I liked it.
Not only did Alex take a whole bunch of his day and dumb his riding down to teach me how to ride steep tech, he then took me and my friend down the best trails at Snoqualmie and just kind of weaseled through the mountain to get the best section. So it was a pretty legendary day. I want to talk to you about this DVO WP fork, the super unique cone valve from the motocross world. So basically, in an absolute rush to get this bike set up, I just pumped the fork up to like 80 psi, pushed down on the handlebars, and it felt good, so I've just been riding it like that all day. With the rebound in the almost full fast setting, I was just like totally blown away with this fork. Let's take a look at it and how supportive this fork is with 80 psi in the chamber. So about midway down this run, I said, what the hell? Let's just drop 10 psi out of this fork and see how it rides. Now the experience was still legendary because the cone valve gives you a very unique feel in suspension if you're sensitive to that kind of stuff. My friend Grant right there wouldn't even notice it. So with 70 psi inside of the WP fork, it is a little bit divey. So I just knew I had to go back up to 80 psi. Previous bike park video, Öhlins was the best, but DVO holds its own just with the Öhlins fork in the trunk department. But if you do have one of those WP DVO forks, this thing is so dirty. Basically, I think I'm running like 10-15% sag because they're way over pumped on the spring. I think the cone valve itself doesn't make much damping. I'll look more into that later. It's day 2 and my friend gave me a buddy pass, so we're gonna go day 2. Super stoked. Not sure if we're gonna take the cross country bike or go rent a downhill bike. Okay, we're going goggles today. We're with Grant, and Grant rode my dream bike yesterday and doesn't want to admit that he couldn't notice the difference. So it's a good learning lesson for me that most people aren't quite as sensitive to suspension feel and everything else. But there's no arguing that that downhill bike was, oh my God, substantially better experience through the Chundry terrain. So it has me thinking I'm gonna just put a dual crown fork on my bike for days like this rather than
It's like having surfboards. You gotta have multiple. Different days, dude. Different bikes, different.
Curious.
Oh man, it's the dream. We're in the clouds.
Because if you have
A pretty dismal warm-up run. That just means more dismal warm-up runs until you're feeling good again. Now let's remember this DVO WP fork is 90% DVO, and that DVO air spring is the most coil-like air fork you can get on the market. Exceptional confidence and traction coming through these slabs. So I did discover kind of what the magic sauce is going on with the cone valve after riding this for 2 solid days. So the cone valve acts like hydraulic bottom mount, just similar to the EXT eStoria on the back. I have never found the bump stop all weekend, or never violently found it. So with the fork, there's a huck to flat right here, and when you land, the cone valve blows off to compression and gives an exceptional level of confidence and feel. It's not a jarring feeling that you get from cheaper dampers. Oh, legs are tired. Coming into the weekend, I knew this bike park was steep tech, so I undersprung the EXT eStoria, knowing it's a super lively, poppy coil shock. So even with the lighter spring, I am kind of struggling throughout the weekend because it's such an active coil shock. You can't have everything in suspension, and the eStoria is my favorite shock of all time. But to be perfectly honest, the Vorsprung Telum or the Cane Creek Katsuma would serve you better in the steep tech of a bike park like Snoqualmie. The Score is really my dream bike because it's a playful, long travel, full 29er, and it knows exactly what it's good at. It's low speed to mid speed technical riding. The big 29-inch wheels do become a little bit of a liability at higher speeds, but personally I'd rather have a bike that's exceptional in one area than just basically suck all the way around like most mullet bikes on the market.